Our topic is about customer service. Learning objectives. Identify how retailers can build a competitive advantage through customer service. Explain how customers evaluate a retailer's customer service. Indicate the activities a retailer can undertake to provide high-quality customer service. Articulate retailer service failure strategies. Introduction. This topic discusses retailers' opportunities to develop strategic advantage through customer service, the nature and types of customer service provided, and how customers evaluate a retailer's customer service. Then, we outline how retailers exploit these opportunities to build a competitive advantage by providing high-quality customer service.
Customer service is the set of activities and programs undertaken by retailers to make the shopping experience more rewarding. As we observe man sa mga malls, department stores, supermarket, may ara gid sila nga space or booth for customer service. Customer service is the one who is responsible in assisting the customers if they have inquiries or concerns. Customer service may ara three approaches. First, personalized service. Nag-refer ni siya sa pag-provide sa service based mismo sa direct nga needs and wants sa mga consumers. Tas makasatisfy gid ni sa customers kay tailor-made solution ang ila ma-receive. Next is standardized service. Unlike sa personalized service naman niya, ang standardized service nag-refer sa policies or rules nga gina-implement sang company. Important gid nga may standardized customer service kay makahelp ni siya para matukoy ang expectations ka mga customers and OFC para ma-remind or makabalo ang employees and the higher positions ang ila obligations. Last is perceived service. Customers' perceptions of a retailer's customer service depend on the actual service delivered. Customers are often influenced by the manner in which employees provide the service one, not just the outcome. Nag-refer naman ni siya sa pag-viewed or perceived sang customers sa actual nga service mismo.
Customers' evaluation of service quality. Perceived service. Customers' perceptions of a retailer's customer service depends on the actual service delivered. Customers are often influenced by the manner in which employees provide the service, not just the outcome. So it means perceived service quality is defined as the customer's assessment of the overall superior or excellence of the service.
Customer service characteristics that affect perceptions of service quality. Reliability is the ability to perform the service dependably and accurately, such as performing the service as promised or contracted or meeting promised delivery dates. Reliability means masaligan, for example, maghambal ang producer by ma-deliver sila sa Monday ka product nila. Dahil syempre, ma-deliver gina sila on time, kaya amo na ilag ang promise sa ila customer. Assurance is the knowledge and courtesy of employees and their ability to convey trust and confidence. Assurance means it's about the trust of the person. For example, every time maghimo ta decision ginapamangkot tagid permis sa iban na assurance ko na magpati ko simo. Touchability is associated with the appearance of physical facilities, equipment, personnel, and communication materials. Tangibility, which means mga bagay na makaptan kag tuod, like machine, furniture, kag anything na makapyutan kakamota. Empathy refers to the caring, individualized attention provided to customers. Empathy means pakikiramay. Ara gakabatsyagan mo na nabatsyagan sang isa ka tawo. For example, gakasubuan because napatyan ang imo friend. Bisan hindi ikaw ang namatyan, pero gakasubuan ka man tungod nabatsyagan mo man ang kasubo nga nabatsyagan niya. Responsiveness means to provide customer service personnel and sales associates that really want to help customers and provide prompt service. Responsiveness means kung paano ka mag-react or mag-act sa imo i-response. For example, may problem sa company, need isolve ang problem, so ikaw mismo mahimo ka way makabulig sa company mo. Customers evaluate customer service by comparing their perception of the service delivered with their expectations. If their perceptions are lower than their expectations, customers are dissatisfied. If their perceptions are better than their expectations, they might be satisfied or even delighted.
For improving retailing customer services quality. For gap that contribute to the service gap, the knowledge gap reflects the difference between the customer expectation and the retailers and can be closed this gap by developing a better understanding for customer expectation and perception. Example, social media, customer complaints, feedback from the store employee and the customer resources. Also, this knowledge gap arises because of the difference between customer expectation. It simplify means the retailer is not aware whatever the reason may be what actually customer expect from him. For example, in a departmental store, a retailer tries his level best to provide the personal attention to each customer by appointing a number of sales staff who roam near the customer to help them to us and when required, but customer take the service in different way. Don't prefer to visit such store considering store staff or wondering like police around them. Number 2, the standard gap pertain to differences between the retailer knowledge of customer perception and the perfections and services standard. It sets by the setting of appropriate service by setting appropriate service standard and measuring service performance. Retailer can close this gap, and also this gap standard gap arises because difference between the retailer perception and customer expectation and the customer service standard. It's set beside understanding when the customer expectation retailer should be develop some services standard. It helps the store staff understand how top management in the store customer define and calculate quality tasks. Commitment to the service quality. Management provide the leadership and demonstrate the commitment. Define the role as service quality. A clear definition or retailer expectation. Setting service gap to deliver consistent high quality service to guide employees. The delivery gap is the difference between the retailer services standard and the actual service is provided to customer. This gap can be reduced by getting employees to meet exceed the services standard through the training and appropriate incentive. Give information training, empower the service employees, provide emotional support, provide incentive, and also this delivery gap arises because of the difference between the retailers service offered for treating customer correctly and performing service well. Developing standard and applying must be backed by appropriate resourceable people, product by technology, and the most of evaluate to award and compensate who deserve on the basis of performance along those standards. Gap is the difference between the actual services provided to the customer service that when the retailer promotion is program the process when the retailer are more realistic about the services they can provide. The customer expectation can be managed effectively to those close the gap. Realistic commitment managing customer expectation, and also this communication gap just arises because the gap between the actual set of services offered to the customer and the services communication by the retailer is the customer through their promotional program. In short, the communication gap arises when retailer promises don't match the performance result and advertise effect on the customer gap.
To ensure excellent service, retailers need to close the gaps between the service they deliver and the service that customers expect. To reduce the gap, they need to know what customer expects, set standard to provide, and expect service provide support so that store employees can meet the standards and realistic communication the service offered to the customer. So it means retailer must bridge the gap between the service they provide and the service consumers demands in order to provide outstanding service. To close the gap, they must understand what customer wants, establish quality expectation, provide training so that store employees can meet the standards, and communicate the service provided to customer realistically. Service recovery. Service problems also enable a retailer to demonstrate its commitment to providing high-quality customer service. Service recovery, it means a retailer may also use a service issue to show its dedication to delivering excellent customer service. Example, in world, we are all busy trying to reduce the number of compliance. This little-known concept should have a questioning whether we should be encouraging compliance instead. We have the two approaches to service recovery. While many businesses are focused on getting ahead of customers' problems, this isn't the only approach as outlined below. First, avoiding customer contacts wherever possible. Most organizations will take the approach to identify common customer problems and trying to handle the matter before it reaches the contact center. So it means the majority of business will follow the approach of finding common customer issue and attempting to resolve them before they hit the contact center. Second, embarrassing service recovery as a retention tool. While the first approach can be great in terms of minimizing the negative impact of a bad customer's experience, there is an alternative. This approach relies on a theory called the service recovery paradox. So it means the first approach can be effective in that the negative consequences of a poor customer's experience, there is another option. This strategy is based on a hypothesis known as the service recovery paradox. Steps in effective service recovery. Listen to the customer. Store employees should allow customer to earn their compliance without interruption. So it means listening to customer may be a great way to you to gather enough business important information. Second, providing a fair solution. Customers like to feel that they are being treated fairly. So it means fair solution is a leading provider of fair product and services that enable organizations to fundamentally increase the findability, accessibility, interoperability, and reusability of their data. We are support the FAIR principle and fully adhere to GOFER recommended implementation choices. And lastly, resolving the problem quickly. Customer satisfaction is affected by the time it takes to get an issue resolved, so empowering the first contact employee to move quickly to solve a problem increase customer satisfaction. It means the time it takes to fix a problem has an effect on customer. As a result, giving the first touch employee the authority to act quickly to resolve an issue boosts customer satisfaction. The retailers must use the information gained from customer compliance and learn from the recovery effort to prevent service failure in the future. So it means to avoid potential service failures, retailers must use the insight learned from customer feedback and learn from the recovery effort.